Okay, okay, okay. Testing, testing, testing. Hello, hello, hello. What's up? Admittedly, I have spent a lot of time underground on this world so far. And something I want to do with the actual, I guess, grass area. What is it? The 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 not the underground, the surface. That's the word that I'm looking for. We did it. We did it. But thinking about the surface over here, this is kind of the only thing that I've built. I've terraformed a little bit just so that there's actual grass around. And I think that's actually just going to be mostly our goal this episode. I want to start affecting more of the world around because it's basically just this corner that I have terraformed. At least around this, I do want to add more spikes like that. But I want to add bigger ones. I might add some like coming out of the caves over here. And just some above ground. And then I think as we expand outwards, I think these are going to be a little bit stubbier as we get to like over here. So instead of like a spike like that, it'll just be like that. Just like random stone, you know what I mean? I think that'll be cool. I don't want this one here though, so let's get rid of that. So what I've been doing around here so far is I've just been kind of molding the grass to kind of give some cave entrances and then cover up most of them. Since I've done pretty much all of the area around this build, there's no risk of like harm to like the heart down there at all. Oh my god, there it is. I didn't even know this was the actual like hole, but yeah, this is the heart right there. So as long as we don't cover up any of this, that should stay there. I just want to kind of like form the grass just so it looks a little bit smoother as you like transition into the caves, because I find especially like across here, this just looks very harsh, you know what I mean? But this over here, for example, doesn't. So like I would imagine over here we could even have this kind of like expand over here, and then this could be even like a stone wall to some extent, if that makes sense. And just stuff like that where like it makes the terrain look a little bit better. When I do get to later versions, the ultimate goal is to basically take all of the worlds that I'm about to create and all of the extra worlds that I create and kind of mesh them all together. So you have a cave game tech test section down the line, you have like a pre-classic, and then you have whatever subsections I have for pre-classic. You know what I mean? I mentioned some lore stuff when I was filming last episode, and even down to that, like I could imagine these are almost like pseudo continents where like the terrain's different. Even the style of builds are gonna be different if it all like goes according to plan. And I think it'll give me a really cool like almost like canvas to work with when we get down the line or get that far. That I think will be super unique. Because it'll be all the different terrain generators and old and new just all meshed together in combination with whatever whatever ideas that I have. And I think it'll look super super cool. And again, given that they are like sections of like different like time periods, I can treat them as like those continents and have like different, if we get down the line to like writing out fake people in this, you could have like, you know, specific people coming from these specific areas and all that kind of stuff. We could have our own geography. We'll have a limited selection of actual like plants, for example, to work with, so I can't really go as in depth as I would like to unless I just like mod it in somehow. And for context, I don't know Java. I don't know coding at all, pretty much. I like dabbled in Python like years ago, but I really didn't like make anything. But it would be cool to learn ultimately. I just lost my place, and that's gonna be impossible to get back. So we're gonna go back over here. Nope. Where the fuck am I? There we go. I think like what I have set up for this world just gives really cool opportunities for like world building and whatnot in like the literal and like metaphorical sense. My partner and I also watched the Lord of the Rings recently. And J.R.R. Tolkien is like obviously I think he's called like the just like godfather of like modern fantasy, but I think it's like super inspirational for him to be just like even just the concept of him working on like even the books. I find it super inspirational that he was working on those books in like the 30s and 50s, and like it was just like a thing for him to do where he just like created his own language in this world that he created. And to some extent, like having the ability to do that sounds so cool. And I don't think I'll ever get to like J.R.R. Tolkien levels, but I would like to take some inspiration from like what he does and apply that to like the concepts that I have here. Um, and I'm not much of a writer. The most I've written is just like my own music. None of it is released or anything like that. Um, but I do write my own songs just to, further learn music and stuff. But for actual like literature, I never really write like that. Outside of like school, even like free writing has never been my thing. Um, but given the fact that I want to, create lore for this and whatnot, and it kind of requires that in my brain to some extent. So you never know. I might start dabbling in writing out stuff and just like trying that out because there's really no harm in that. And I do want to note that I don't really have any other like versions to show off this episode like I have the last couple of episodes, so it's just gonna be kind of me doing this for the entire thing. Um, Most of the recreations or the versions listed are quite literally just this same type of world, but with either no sky or low performance. And I do find it quite funny that they even recreated the low performance updates. Uh, the dedication is respectable and fucking hilarious, honestly. Just taking a look along this as well, there is very little like actual flat area. Like it dips down so often that like I almost want to add like a specific area where it is like an actual just flat piece of terrain. Just to kind of build something on that, because even this is built around just like the way that the caves are formed in this. And I guess since it is the cave game tech test, something something at the moment, it makes sense. I'm trying to also think of like what else to build here, because we have this little thing. I might be able to build some like maybe mediocre like cobblestone houses, stuff like that. Maybe just like I'm thinking like my brain's inspiration is like ancient ruins. It's going to like what's that thing, like Stonehenge, that kind of like style. Maybe even we build like what looks like the frames of houses, but they're all torn apart. Something like that. It'll add a little bit of backstory just naturally. I can I just recreate Stonehenge. You know what? Honestly, all we have to work with is grass and stone. That might be a good idea just to put it here. So I'm looking at some reference images, and I'm also looking up like Minecraft recreations just to see like how people do it. And we actually have a couple options, because like especially in seeing other people build it. Some people built it not in like a kind of like you have like this for that one. Hold on one second. You have like this for that one kind of stone there. I know you can't see what I'm talking about, but instead of that, they actually have it kind of scaled up a bit, which could be cool. I kind of want to have it a little further away from that since it's probably going to take up a good amount of space. So I'm probably going to save a few images. I want some images of like Stonehenge from like the top down view, just so I can see just the layout of that stuff. And I think it could be cool. Admittedly, I don't know where to put it. Maybe in the center of the map? Or like around there? I could imagine this could be flattened out quite a bit. At least reasonably. But yeah, I'll probably cut back once I start with that. So I admittedly started building it here just because this was kind of dipped into the ground and it looked like a stone in there that I could start with as a reference point. But if we turn around, it is quite literally the most inconvenient spot to be building this shit. And you know what? It's one of those things where like probably best to just move this before I even just fully dive into it, but I really wanted it here because of that. It like ticked my brain in the right way and it bruh. You know, the build from over there actually looks really cool. I've flattened out this area a little bit more. I honestly don't know how much space I need to recreate Stonehenge here. But I think at the edges over here, I'm just going to smooth it out to look more natural. And then maybe like have it swoop up to like that being a wall. This is just going to be a grass plain. But yeah, it is the following day. I had to take my cat to the vet today. She had a case of conjunctivitis. So probably got some like bacteria or some like allergen in there. She is honestly the most like docile cat that I've ever met. She just let them do their thing, even when she got her renewed like rabies shot. Nothing. Didn't even flinch. Absolute trooper right there. I was honestly quite anxious because my cat has never really gotten sick. Okay, I've literally got a picture of Stonehenge like right next to my my game window. So right here, there's like that, and then there's like another one right over here. So if I just do that, it just doesn't seem right though. I feel like it should be bigger. No. You know what? That's good. And then kind of curve around a little bit, and there's another just stone right there. Kind of don't like how it sticks out like that. You know what? I think that's good. I know, absolutely like professional commentary right now. Leave a like for the just place this, that. That kind of looks wonky. I don't want it to be like a perfect recreation of it, admittedly. I kind of just want to be like heavily inspired, if that makes sense. We have those, then we have that, we have that, and then behind this there's another one of these, so yeah. You know what? I think that's cool. I am gonna have to expand this out, it looks like. I'm confusing myself with my own reference image, but I'll come back when I have a little bit more of this done. Okay, so I think I'm going to show this off and then probably end off the episode. But as I said, I don't want a like one-to-one recreation, but more just kind of going off of that general vibe of like ancient stone things just there. So I've added a couple more of just the arches. This is like a triple arch right here. Got two more, and then another double arch right there. And I kind of like it. I got distracted after building this and just started terraforming more around it, just to smooth out the terrain. But yeah, this is what I have so far. I will warn, I think there might be a delay between this video releasing and probably the next part, just because there is so little to show off in the actual version changes that I kind of want to do a substantial amount of progress on this, and then kind of show it off as like a one last showcase of this world before we move on to the other versions. One specific thing that I do want to build, and I think it's going to be in one of the corners probably. I want to outline one of the corners with like a giant cobblestone mountain. I think I'll be able to kind of like transition the mountain into the like caves going downwards. And so when you head over into like the corner, it'll almost be like optically taller than I'm actually able to build height wise. Because I'm actually not sure what the height limit on this world is. And I am not counting the blocks, but I just want to get a general gauge. Oh, that's it. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it's a decent amount. As I said, I want to kind of have the mountain transition into the caves to some extent, so it'll make it optically look bigger. But I like my two builds so far. Not massive by any means, but I think they're cool. As I mentioned, I think this is where I'm going to end it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for 100 subscribers. I actually can't believe it. That first episode absolutely blew up. It has like 2,000 views now. I don't know. I don't know what launched it into the algorithm, but welcome everybody. Sorry there has to be a delay. I do want to record something a little bit different than Minecraft. Um, I want to play, I put it into a community post, but I want to play some old horror games or just scary games in general and kind of post playthroughs of those as well. Just because I don't want to be completely locked to being a Minecraft YouTuber. I want to be able to expand out, and if I do like make this more into like a giant creative project, I would like the opportunity to be able to not be locked into just this form of media, if that makes sense. But again, thank you guys for sticking around, and everyone who's just shown up, and see you later.